We are 4 days in to the January transfer window, and I already feel like my little brain and mind is just boggling with all of the rumours that I am seeing here, there, and everywhere. In this video, we are going to be discussing some, because we'd be here all day if we went through them all, of West Ham's transfer rumours and seeing what is going on in the world of West Ham transfers. For this show, for the West Ham official transfer show, I'm joined by Andy. Andy, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. First day back to work, so it's always a killer. But
Yeah.
no, I'm enjoying the break, mate. To be honest, we've had like a competitive game of football, so like you said, we've got a week off until Sunday. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and it's quite nice to have that week off as well, not playing in the Wednesday, because that seems to be what's going on at the moment. So that's nice as well as we gear up for the FA Cup game, and then 2 pretty winnable games in the Premier League. West Ham Irons, hope you're well. Callum, hope you are well as well. Right, the first thing we are going to get into then is Adama Traoré. Now, this player, Andy, has split opinions in the West Ham fan base. Some people think he'll be effective. Some people, have looked at his stats and God, he's got no goals and no assists at all this season. What do you make of him?
I've always liked him, mate. Even when he was at Middlesbrough, when we were first linked with him, I was like, this could be what a player he could be. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people go on stats and on what they see him play. But if anyone who watched the game yesterday when they played Man United, when he come on, they just turned into a totally different animal.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get the assist, but obviously his cross was the setup for Moutinho. So I wouldn't go on that. But with me, if Moyes wants him, I back Moyes. Like, I know there's all transfer talk and it could just be the agent, but I'm not saying he's going to be the next Mikel Antonio, and I know we need a striker as a priority, but I would still take him. He's better than Yarmolenko, isn't he, Jake?
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, most people are better than Andrei Yarmolenko. I mean, you haven't got to do much, but it all comes down to a price tag now, where the paper talk is that us and Spurs are in for Adama Traoré. Spurs have always been in for this player. They've just, every window it's seen Spurs are in for Traoré, and we've come in for him for a couple of windows straight now. And we look at him and we're being told that it's a reduced price tag on him of less than £20 million. And I look at it and think, why are Wolves gonna get rid of him for below what he's worth? I mean, what would you fairly put a price tag on him of?
See, I would put him as like close to mid-20s to 30. If you think of his age, I think off the top of my head, I think it's 25, 26. So he's not even hit his peak yet. But like you said, we don't know what's going behind the scenes. But if you remember with Wolves, obviously I know Neto's out injured, Podence. They seem to find these gems for cheap money and turn into good players. So I think they've probably got someone lined up. And as soon as that person comes in, Adama Traoré, and like you said, he's not starting, and he's probably, I wouldn't say he's upsetting the camp, because we wouldn't want that as us, but he probably likes what he's doing and sees how good David Moyes, how we've converted Arnautovic in the previous sections, obviously. And Antonio's been converted. So in Moyes, I trust. If he wants him, I'll take him.
Yeah. I think it does come down to that, and we've got to back what David Moyes does, because pretty much every player that he's brought in has worked. So there's no reason why we shouldn't back what he does. But I can definitely see why people are turning their noses up to him. He's just pretty much a Mikel Antonio with plenty of pace and big muscles, if you know what I mean. But
if you're chasing the game and you've got Mikel Antonio and Adama Traoré running at you, I couldn't think of anything worse, to be honest. And like you said, I know it sounds like very stereotypical, but it could be down to confidence. If you're in and out of the team, like what we noticed with Ben Rama when he was getting chopped and changed. You didn't really have that. And this season, we've seen the best of him because he's starting games and he's making an influence. So with Bowen as well, we've got a different option. We have got different options. So, but yeah, I'll definitely take him. I know the fan base is split, but if we've got. But if I had to pick out of Lingard and Traoré, I'd pick Lingard if I had to pick one of them. But why can't we get both?
Yeah. Well, exactly. We've got to show ambition, not only just to our fans, but we've got to show. Oh, well, we've done that. That did not work. We've got to show ambition to our players like Declan Rice. Where if we go out and we sign one or two players, and we just mosey on through with the bare minimum like we do. Whilst this show, players like Declan Rice, we really have got to show ambition to a player like Declan Rice. Let's see who else is in the chat. Yeah, he did. To be fair, he did change the game yesterday, Traoré. So the Gabriel approach that was rejected was an 18-month loan. We are still looking to do the same type of transfer. Clubs are going to blackball us if we don't behave exactly. And I've spoke to Fabrizio Romano and he said this to me as well. Is the fact is Fabrizio Romano published this and said West Ham have gone in quite not foolishly, but put a cheeky 18-month loan bid in that Flamengo and Gabigol are having absolutely none of. But we're going to get onto him a little bit later on. Cyber, hope you're well. Gaza, hope you're well. Apparently Newcastle want Barbosa. I mean, Newcastle want everyone. I mean, they're all gassing up everybody because they got plenty of money. Let them take Barbosa. We will get the Czech guy and Lingard. Is that Schick? I have to wait and see. James,
Hojek, I think.
Cross check. Yeah, I suppose him as well. What does Moyes like? This is the third window, and we have not identified players we want. Definitely, I reckon Moyes is going to raid the Championship in the summer. I think he will. I mean, we are being linked with these centre backs. The names of Joe Worrell. That is it. The QPR striker Brenton Diaz as well, Andy.
Blackburn, yeah, Brenton, yeah.
Yeah. I think Moyes, if it doesn't work, I think Moyes. Oh, what are we doing there? He might go to that kind of issue or Championship style.
After the way Tarkowski played against Leeds the other night, I don't want him anywhere near our club. He just looked completely out of. But we'll probably get onto defenders and stuff like going forward. I think I think a few people know my choice. If I had to pick, definitely Kalafdakar is my first choice.
Yeah. One thing that is slightly worrying is that we're talking. I mean, the rumours coming out are more about these attacking creative wingers, players like Traoré, and then a few strikers are being bundled out there. We're not hearing massive amounts about centre-backs. We're hearing about Tarkowski, but that's about it at the moment.
But I think that's no news is good news, mate. This just proves what Moyes wanted. He wants everything. What about Areola? No one saw him. Right. He had a medical, and no one was no one was there. No one knew, and he was signed. Danny Ings, for example, I know it's a different club, but look what Danny Ings done. Yeah, no one had a clue, and they went, yeah, he's signed. So I think no news is good news, and we've just proved, obviously, like what we had with Kurt Zouma. Kurt Zouma had his medical out in France, so who's to say that we're not getting these players done behind the door? So I'm happy.
That is also bang on the money, because you mentioned about Kurt Zouma there, and I mean his profile shoot and everything that went on Twitter, it was outside the Eiffel Tower, and you look at it, and we are getting these things done quietly, which is what David Moyes wants, and that's being effective. When he came in, everything was being leaked to everybody. We're not getting it now. ITKs don't know until half an hour before or whatever. They put on, this guy's going to sign. Nobody knew bang on a day before that Areola was signing. Medical, bang, smack, wallop, which is good, isn't it?
Yeah, no, like you said, even Phillips from Liverpool. Yeah, that's gone a bit quiet again. I'm Obviously, this is a kids' show. I'm not promoting, but the odds on a lot of players coming to us are going down very, very short, including Phillips. Even Martial, we've gone to second favourites for Martial now. You never know with David Moyes what we've got up our sleeve. They could be trying to get a double deal for Lingard and Martial. Lingard and Martial. So
Exactly.
you don't know what's around the corner, but. Like you said, I'm not stressing. I was on Dayo's show yesterday, and the transfer market come up, and like you said, we can sit here and slag the board off. They've not invested or anything. I'm not going to slag the board off until after the transfer window shut, and if we've not got
Yeah.
players, then we can shout. But until then, I'm still feeling confident we'll get. I reckon 4 players will come in.
Yeah. Let's as Jake Planty. No. In the Moiseo we trust. Exactly. I would be a bit worried of Liverpool coming in for Bowen. Yeah, I am. I'm worried about that because I still think if something comes in like a big bid for a player, David Sullivan's gonna handle it, Andy, and I don't like that.
No, definitely. I don't think Bowen's leaving, mate. He's too happy. Like, obviously, he's off the pitch as well. He's happy. He's heavily involved in the West Ham community, and I don't think he would throw us under the bus. I know Liverpool is a big club, but I know I know Salah and Mane are going. But realistically, is he getting ahead of Jota, Salah, and Mane when they're all fit? No. And then Firmino will probably be ahead of him as well. He's probably even looking at what Jack Grealish, £100 million move to Man City. He's not featured in the last. I know he's done stuff off the pitch, but he's not featuring either.
Yeah, I mean, we get Lukaku on loan if we like, loan to buy. Why not, Luke? Why not? Hope you well.
If I'm being deadly, he's saying that, but it wouldn't surprise that wouldn't surprise me.
Really?
It wouldn't surprise me, Lukaku. The one thing I will say, he probably would want to stay in London if he can't go back to Inter Milan, and Chelsea would definitely not sell to Spurs. And they'll probably see us as a boost, like what Man United done with Lingard, to help with their chances of other teams not getting close to them.
Well, exactly, yeah. And I think there's a very good comment. It's snowing in Benfleet. Is it snowing in Hornchurch, Andy? Just while Andy goes and have a look, is it?
No, not yet. It's pissing down still. I'm sorry, I just swore. It's still raining, I should say.
Liverpool will try to get a Burnham public secret. They need this kind of player. And I saw something on Twitter as the fact if we put a £60 million, price tag, and we've said we will start talking when you put £60 million on the table. But even at that, I think he's our second most valuable player at this football club. I think behind Declan Rice.
If you look at Declan Rice in probably order of assets, what we should be worrying about, the three would be Declan Rice, Bowen, and then Fornals for me. I think Fornals is the other one. But no, like you said, it's 4 days in, and I've seen. I wouldn't say panic or get behind, but I would. I'm not panicking yet. Like you said, there's still a long way to go. As we've proven, a transfer can be done in 4 hours. So exactly. I'm not panicking yet.
Exactly. Callum says, my mate is a Liverpool fan, and he said to me that Bowen would not gain over Salah and Mane and other players. He wouldn't. But if it did happen, which I really do hope it doesn't, because Bowen is one of my favourite West Ham players, if not my favourite West Ham player. He's been incredible this season. He might just do what Jota's done and just creep in, from a club like Wolves and West Ham, pay the some amount, and then he will get game time. I really, really hope it doesn't happen, but I can see it. I'm afraid I can see it. Mipo's back. I know we're going to talk about him a little bit later on. I would love the Blackburn Diaz strike. Yeah, he's banging in the goals. He is in the Championship.
Blackburn have already come out and said he's not for sale. They're in a decent league position. That'll completely throw their promotion in tatters, to be honest. Unless we offer him Yarmolenko, I think they might accept it, actually.
Well, exactly. Or we could go to Chelsea with something like this. Trade Masuaku for Lukaku. I would go as far as giving them Andrei Yarmolenko as well. That's how much of a kind person I am. But anyway, let's get Patrick Schick. I mean, his name has been floated around a couple of times, about 40 million quid.
Too much money for me.
Yeah.
He's not really proven, in my opinion.
No. Let's move on to strikers then. So we've had a few strikers being bound around. I think a West Ham fan account put on Twitter yesterday. 90% of West Ham fans now say, let's get this Gabriel Barbosa, even though 12 hours ago they didn't have a clue who he was. We have been linked with Gabriel Barbosa. Fabrizio Romano has come out and said we have had a bid rejected for him for an 18-month loan, and Flamengo, I think his club is, have said that he is strictly not for sale in a loan basis. So if we want him, we're going to have to pay for him. But another reliable source, I think is Ekrem Knorr, whatever his name is, he has said in the last few hours that West Ham in the next couple of days are getting ready to table another bid to try and get this man to the London Stadium. I mean, I've got a few stats for you, Andy, that I'm going to show you about this guy, but initial thoughts of what you've seen. I mean, had you heard of him?
Sky Sports on their website that they were talking about him for a minute and a half, and his goal scoring record's great. He's played 18 times for Brazil, I think, and 9 goals as well, and he's got ambitions of obviously being the number 9. And I think if you come in for that, I think he would be good. If, like you said, if it's decent money, like 25 million, I think it's worth it. Obviously, you've got the other likes of Jonathan David as well, but look at that. We've got a good record of signing players from Brazil. Obviously, certain Carlos Tevez. So, but yeah, no, I would take him if I could.
Yeah, I mean, this is some of the stats that he's producing in his league, and I think in total he's got over 100 goals in 150 games. Each season there he's scoring 34 goals in 2018-19 season, 21-29. So for 4 seasons, his goal tally hasn't gone below 20 goals, which whatever the league is, that's not a bad record, Andy.
No, it's not, and everyone can go, oh, it's whatever league it is, but at the end of the day, a goal scorer, just has to put it in the net. So for me, I think it's a no-brainer, because the worst thing what will happen is it happened to us with Demba Ba. He ended up going to Newcastle and obviously Chelsea. I don't want another club coming in and be like, look at another striker what got away. I'd rather us be the first club to get him.
Yeah, I mean, I think on Sky they mention as he's really keen to come to England. He thinks England is where his career can progress and what needs to happen. And I think they said there's another 4 Premier League clubs that are interested in him. So there's going to be a bit of a Premier League dogfight to try and get this man.
Yeah, I think Leeds are linked with him, but I think Leeds are signing someone called Llorente, I think from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Newcastle is going to be linked with everyone. I can't remember who the other club is. I think it might be Everton, but just think he's not going to get ahead of Calvert-Lewin. Calvin, I should say. So yeah, no, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's bring this man in. Anton, how are you?
Not bad. How you doing? Happy New Year, Milesy. Happy New Year, everyone.
How you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, not bad, mate. You?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Adama Traoré. We will come back to him because I know you're a big fan, Anton. So Stel don't like him.
Well, I'll let you lead it. I'm not saying I'm a big fan. I'll give my explanation when you're ready for my explanation.
Go on, fire away. Adama Traoré thoughts.
I just think that I understand why people are looking at his stats and thinking, this and that, and final product and end product, etc. But you've got to look at what Moyes is trying to build. So most of the time, what the fans think is what we need is not probably what or what we're going to get. We've not had that really under Moyes. Like, we've wanted an out-and-out striker, but we've had an out-and-out striker before. Now, I do think, yes, I am on that camp. I want an out-and-out striker. It'd be great. My concern about signing that number 9 or that out-and-out striker is, does that change the way that we play? And can we then adjust to that? I'm not saying we can't. I'm just saying that Moyes has obviously found a system that seems to work. It's been consistent for nearly 2 years. And Adama Traoré, albeit his stats are absolutely rubbish and crap, as in terms of what he does in a game, I mean, are you telling me that you wouldn't be frightened if you were in the opposition if you had Adama Traoré down one wing, whom, when I done the video on him yesterday, 2 years ago was top of the ranks for dribbles in the opposition area, getting forward, crosses into the box every game. I think he was averaging like 6 or 7 crosses into the box every single game 2 years ago when he was in full flow. So I get there's not particularly an end product and hasn't been for the last couple of years. But then again, let's talk about
He changed the game yesterday. As soon as he come on yesterday, Wolves were a different animal. And I think him and, don't get me wrong, it's the crossing, but just think, it sounds very silly. I don't know whether you've noticed it as well. Obviously, being West Ham, is we bring everyone back from a corner. Yeah, sounds very silly. If you had Adama Traoré standing there on halfway, they're not going to put everyone forward, are they? Do you know what I mean? Like something like that. Someone on the counter.
But the thing is, though, Milesy, he can sit really anywhere, and because he is one of the fastest players in the world, like they actually have said that. So the fact of the matter is, he can track back and get forward. I'm not saying he's our, answer to everything, but and I see people in the chat are saying disastrous stats for years, but all I'm going to bring to the table is, for the 2 years before we signed Jesse Lingard, his stats were disastrous. But he wasn't playing as much. I get it. He wasn't playing as much as what Traoré was. But sometimes certain players don't work under certain managers. And we just have to look at Sebastian Haller for an example. Felipe Anderson for an example, because both of them are away in Lazio and Ajax and firing on all cylinders. But under our system and our regime and the way we work, it just didn't work.
In Moyes, we trust. If he wants him, get him.
I'm the same as you,
here's a scenario. If we're going to bring him in for whether it's 10, 15, 20 million pounds, I think he could be used as another option. And Andy said it earlier on, is if we're chasing a game, we've got Antonio on, he's doing all right. We can take off one of the men just behind him, whether it's a Benrahma, Bowen, Fornals, whoever. You could put Antonio or Traoré on, get Antonio and Traoré close to each other, get them running at defenders. They can cause problems. And Luke says it here. Where is it? What's it? Maximin, Antonio and Traoré, pace. I mean, even having Antonio and Traoré on the same pitch is pure pace. And that's what West Ham fans want. West Ham fans want pace. It's just really splitting opinions. But, Anton, would you prefer an out-and-out striker and a name that people hadn't heard about 12 years ago? Gabriel Barbosa, Cabral, plenty of names are being flung around. We've just talked about Barbosa. He's got some pretty good stats for his league. I mean, in the last 4 years, he hasn't dipped below 20 goals a season. 25 million pounds. What do you say?
I mean, the thing is, right, when you're trying to weigh up, I mean, Barbosa seemed to have been linked with West Ham over the last 2 or 3 transfer windows. And obviously that's not kind of turned into anything or turned into any fruition. But when I look at Barbosa, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I know him inside out. But when you hear a player linked to you, you start to, you go on YouTube, you look at their style of play, you read a little bit of scouting reports, etc. And Barbosa's style of play is a little bit like, correct me if I'm wrong here, is he not, even though he's a striker, is he not a bit like, I'm not going to compare Aguero, he's just like, he's not your just out and out centre forward. Yes, he bangs in goals, but he plays in it. He's Flamingo, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I'm sure Flamingo play in a specific style, which is very similar, the South American style of Man City, which is they've got no target man up front. And I'm sure they play, and Barbosa is heavily involved in the game. So he probably is a striker that you could realistically think we would bring in. Because if you said to me, for example, remember we were linked to Onuachu from Genk.
Yeah.
He was a link, but when Moyes ruled it out, it just confirmed that Moyes is never looking for a striker like that. He never is looking at a striker like Onuachu. He's never looking for an out-and-out big lad up the top, because we're never under Moyes' current style. I don't see we're going to
because the front four, even Fornells, Bowen, Benrahma, and Antonio at the minute, they all alternate. It's so confusing for defenders.
Yeah.
Like, just think if you had him to the mix or Adama, it's just going to be so hard to mark. And like you said, people say we don't have no plan B, but our plan A is working at the minute. I know we've had some deep, but we still playing that same way, and I think it would. I think it would be a success, in my opinion.
I agree. I think I'm the same as you, Miles. Like, it's like, if we could sit here and link us to every. I just want a striker. I hear so many people saying, "I just want a striker." Of course, I want a striker. We all want a striker who'll score 20 goals a season. That would be fantastic. We want someone leading the line like that. But we go by the records of late. I mean, Sebastian. So many people turn around and go, and I said it as well. Feed Haller and he will score. But we could have fed Haller and he would have scored. But the rest of the team may not have played the way that they're currently playing. They play well in the system that we're playing. People say we don't have a plan B. I heard you say that, Milesy. Well, you're right. We don't need a plan B right now.
Yeah.
But to be honest, a couple of seasons ago, when we were in lockdown, the plan B was that we did switch to 5 at the back. And it did work, because when we switched to 5 at the back, we beat Leicester, we beat Wolves with 5 at the back. So I think, I'm just hoping that we can strengthen where Moyes wants. And, you can kind of, go from there. I mean, I just don't want to rule out, if Traoré is a genuine link, I can see the connection. That is the point I'm trying to make. I can see why Moyes would look at him.
Let's take some of your comments. I'm going to scroll up. Usually top Brazilians come to Europe at the age of 19, 20, 21. Barbosa is 25. He didn't succeed at Inter. Italians saying that he was not disciplined and not the smartest guy, not focused on footy. But that's not the most positive thing on the world to hear. But thank you. But
But then the kind of devil's advocate to that was, where was everyone's opinion on Arnautovic when we brought Arnautovic into the club? Because I think he was at Stoke and he was doing okay, but Moyes transformed him into the player that he became at a later age. And then you talk about, I mean, in the chat, in our West Ham network chat, honestly, the amount of people, I keep reminding them, I'm like, what was your thoughts when we signed Jesse Lingard? I mean, on social media, I would say the majority of West Ham fans were like, what have we just went and signed?
Yeah.
And look how that turns out. All I'm trying to say is, if a player has in the past been good, there's obviously something there. I mean, I don't think you get selected for the Spanish squad, like in terms of Traoré, if you are crap. I'm not trying to. I do think there are players out there that wing their life in a career. They wing their football career. I completely agree with that. But I don't think Traoré. I think he's just down in the dumps. He's not enjoying his football. He's under a new system with a new manager, and it's just not working for him. It's just whether or not we're going to go and spend the money and bring in someone like Traoré or not. I don't know.
Exactly. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. David says, look at Leeds already close to signing a striker. A question, Traoré or Yarmolenko? Well, I'd like to think most people would go Yarmolenko. I mean Traoré. Let's have a look here. Traoré, no disastrous stats. Mick, hope you well. How many more transfer windows you reckon before Moyes finally gets a team he wants? Well, I think we're against the point now, and if we don't sign a striker this January, we're going to be like, well, are we just...
I reckon three. Start of next season, Moyes will be able to... Well, I'd say probably 2, actually, because a lot of the... Like Yarmolenko, if he gets rid of Fredericks, a lot of players are going to be leaving who are out of contract. Obviously, we've got to replace Noble as well, don't forget, at the start of next year. So there's a lot of players. So I'll probably say 2 more windows after this one. I think Moyes will then have the squad what he wants.
I think someone put a comment there. We need to stop the goals going in at the other end. I think that's completely true. I've said it. I've said it for years. The moment we left Upton Park, even the last season at Upton Park, we still conceded a lot of goals. We've always seemed to have conceded a lot of goals. It was the seasons before that we didn't concede as much as what we have. But I think even the last season at Upton Park, we conceded upwards of 50. And there was that kind of ongoing thing about we had to outscore the opposition. I know that's I know that's a term that obviously makes sense, right? But in order for West Ham to win, you knew that we were going to concede always, but we had to win 3-2, 2-1, 4-3 because we would concede goals. And I think that statement that there's right. You know, he will be looking at the defense and thinking, right, we could make life easier from that front quartet if we stop goals going in. Because I seen a stat the other day when Lanzini Mark Noble scored the penalty. He's the 11th outfield player we've had scoring goals, or 12th or something like that. Like we've scored 37 goals this season, and that's shared about 12 or 13 players. I think that's good because that's what Moyes wants. He wants the whole team to score goals. But we're conceding now. We're back to conceding goals again. 27 goals we've conceded, and if he can nullify that and start to reduce that, I think that will help massively. So I think what Moyes is maybe saying to the public is, you're expecting a striker. You may not get a striker, but trust what I'm doing.
Yeah. Andy, Anton, if you've got a head, just let me know because I got let's bring Luke in. Luke, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Good. One more day and then back to work, unfortunately. Yeah, enjoying the last day off. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 2 days left, so I'm not quite back to that. 1 day to go, but that will be tomorrow. So absolute nightmare. But let's get your thoughts on Barbosa then. What are you thinking, Luke?
Yeah, why not? I know people are saying that about the failure. 25 usually Brazilians are signed young, but that's the point. He is young. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's had to go away, recapture his game. I think of like De Bruyne's and Salah's. They didn't make it straight away in the Premier League at 19, 20. I'm not comparing him in any way to those players, but sometimes you have to go away and recapture yourself. As a player.
Yeah. We're going to move on. We're going to move on because West Ham have signed a player. We've signed a 17-year-old young man, and I forgot the geezer's name now. Brilliant. But we've signed another young player to go into the youth setup, which is nice to see. And his name is Callum Marshall. So there we go. He's joined, and other things that have happened today as well. Joseph Anang has been recalled from his loan from Stevenage. He played 18 times for Stevenage. He's been recalled back to West Ham. And Odubeko has come back after a very unsuccessful loan period in the Championship with Huddersfield. Andy, Odubeko and Anang recalled. Bit more depth in the under 23s. Odubeko at some point might get a look in.
Yeah, I understand it. Like Meepo he's not played. Apparently, like when he's played for Huddersfield, I heard a couple of fans. I think it was on like Twitter. They're saying that they're gutted to see him go, but they reckon Connor Coventry's coming back as well because he's not playing for Peterborough. The manager said that he wants to play experience instead of playing the likes. But like you said, it's going to boost the under 23s, and then it gives us the option if we do get short of injuries. But in my opinion, Odubeko, I can't see him. He just reminds me of Frank Noble, to be honest. He had his chance, and don't want to sound very harsh, but it's true. He's playing up front with Freddie Sears at Colchester, so it just proves that probably Lee. I reckon at best he may be a Championship player at best in a couple of years. But Connor Coventry is still up in the air for me. Whenever I've seen him, he's played well. But if he's not playing it, but he went to a struggling side. Say, for example, if he went for a mid-table side, he may be playing more. But like you said, if you could probably pick, obviously Declan Rice has probably been an Ashby. There's not really been anyone pushing for the starting 11 place from the academy. And they say we're the academy of football and we've got these players, but you could say Moyes has not given
as well, mate.
Sorry. But I was just thinking of like the recent steps in between. Yeah. The likelihood of an academy player breaking through, which we love to see, is very slim now because footballs are really. I'm not saying we'll sack Moyes, but if you think of it like managers don't have time to be chancing. They need to act now, really.
I think, like, in the Meeple chat as well, like, I hate even being part of that, like, even like, agreeing with what you're saying, Andy, in terms of I don't know if Meeple has got it in him from what I've saw. And now I'm not just judging that on what the little game time that I've saw of him play, because he was banging in the goals in under 23s. But when I saw him training at St Andrews, it was him and I can't remember the other player who looked out of their depth. The guy that went to Nottingham Forest, what was his name?
Gone.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, he went to Nottingham Forest at the last minute of the last transfer window. He was our forward.
Silva.
Silva and Meeple completely looked out of their depth in the full training camp that I watched. And they were the only two stand out of their depth players. And I was a bit like, he just looks lost. Like Baptiste was stepping up, Alessi was stepping up. And I know they were in different positions, but in terms of Meeple, I don't like to rule out young players, but I don't know. If you look at now what Perkins offered us when he came on for that short stint, what Oakleflex is doing in the under 23s. But what it does do, though, is create more competition in the under 23s and pushes the other players on even further. So either they're bringing them back to add that competition, or they're bringing them back to send them back out on loan again. Connor Coventry, like you said, Milesy, I think personally, he is like at the kind of stage of make and break. He maybe just needs an opportunity and maybe like a couple of injuries or a couple of suspensions, and then he's thrown into the thick end of it. And then maybe we see if he's capable of doing it. I thought
the one that got away. The one that got away was Cullen, because look, he's captain for Anderlecht, and look what he's doing now. Just see what I mean. But gents, I'm gonna have to go because I need something to eat before I go back to work. So nice seeing you, Anton, Luke, Jake, everyone in chat. Take care.
Cheers,
see you
Andy.
later. See you later.
Mate.
That's me.
Right. We're not going to get anybody else. I can't, Anton.
Yeah, I'm going to head as well. Sorry, I do need to head because I can hear the kids screaming, so I better go and help the missus.
Cheers, Anton.
Right, Happy New Year. Cheers, Luke. Cheers.
Cheers. Right, I'm not going to let anybody else on because I've got to go in a second. So, Luke, to finish off, I did plan to talk about Declan Rice with everybody, but, let's talk about Declan Rice. The Sun have reported Declan Rice, £100 million, I've heard, flat out from the Sun. Do you believe this is just clickbait trying to make the Sun a bit of money?
Yeah, he's not going anywhere in January. Let's put that straight there. He's going nowhere in January. If we don't get Champions League, which let's just say that's a big if, isn't it? We've got probably not going to get it. But if we don't get it, I think I can see him moving on. Whether it's Man United, I don't know. There's a deal that I put in the chat just before I come on, actually.
Yeah.
Would you accept 90 million and Conor Gallagher? Now, for me personally, I think I would. Because he will go at some point, Declan Rice. Yeah. And I think if you could secure a player as good as Conor Gallagher and 90, I know, throw things at me, West Ham fans, I think I would take that deal. I would.
100 million in Gallagher, and I think it would convince a lot of West Ham fans, but it's these ifs and buts. That's probably not going to happen. But we don't know the way Declan Rice is going to go. It might be in a swap deal for several players. It might just be 150 million flat out. Real Madrid, whoever, take him. Barcelona, whoever, take him. 150
what the
million.
other clubs do as well. There's other players out there like a Basuma, like a Calvin Phillips. And do these other clubs think, we'll go and get them instead of paying out 100 million for Rice? And that could be the reason he stays at West Ham, because there's a slightly cheaper option.
Luke, hope you're well. He says, what does the Rice transfer tombola say today? Man United, 100 million, bingo. Exactly. I just think
their entitlement that they feel that they have a divine right to go and buy him. It's like, use absolutely crap.
Yeah, 100 in Gallagher. I'd still tell you to do one. I think West Ham fans are almost thinking, as long as if it's not stupid like 150 plus, West Ham fans just go no. I think we're not in.
It has to be a minimum of 100, a minimum.
Yeah,
absolute minimum.
I mean, other fans of other clubs laugh at us for putting that price tag on him, but you can laugh at all you like. If you want him, you pay that, or you don't have him, and that's the bottom line.
Mate, I see Phil Jones played better than 80 million Harry Maguire last night.
Exactly.
No, if Rice is not worth 100 million, I don't know who is.
Exactly. That is bang on, because Phil Jones played well yesterday, and Harry Maguire's been a car crash of a centre back the whole season.
Yeah,
it's exactly. Just. Here we go. Rudiger, Gallagher, and 100 million. You can't turn that down, surely.
Oh, no, but Rudiger wouldn't come to us. He comes across as a greedy man, that wants like 400 grand a week, which sadly we can't pay.
Rice for Chelsea's training ground would be the best deal. It's going to be awful when he goes, regardless of who we get in. It is, yeah. And I think not West Ham fans aren't in denial, but West Ham fans are almost like it's a very sensitive subject when it comes to Declan, because West Ham fans are like, no, it's probably going to happen at some point. It will happen at some point, but we just don't know when and how it's going to happen. We hope, I personally hope we don't see the scenes and how Jack Grealish went about and how that happened with him leaving Aston Villa and going to Man City.
Kane, you don't want him to sulk till Christmas, for example, if he doesn't get his move.
Yeah. We just want it to be the right way, and he won't leave in Mark Noble's last season anyway. There's no way he's leaving in January. It's just he wouldn't do that to West Ham. I don't think he'd leave, and I think the way we've got the best chance of keeping him for a possible longer period is the board showing some ambition, buying some solid quality players when needed, not just the very bare minimum. We want good, high quality, and a lot of them. Yeah, and we need to get into some sort.
Zuma was one. Zuma was a good signing, a massive signing. But we've just been unlucky with injuries. You imagine if Zuma and Bonner wouldn't have got injured, where we would actually be in the league now. And then you'd be thinking, Rice is thinking, actually, do you know what, West Ham, we could finish third or second there.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we look at it, and I think the way we've got to the way to go about Declan Rice is going far in the Europa League. And if we don't, I think with our fully fit squad on our day, I think we can win the Europa League. I really think we can.
I agree with you, mate. 100%.
And the way we keep Declan Rice is Champions League football. This guy, he said he wants Champions League football. There's, to get on to the next level of his career, people say he's not a world-class footballer because he hasn't kicked the ball in the Champions League. Which I can see why people say that, but he's still a world-class footballer, in my opinion. That's the key to keeping him.
In a Euro final.
Exactly,
even though
and got dragged off.
He won it, he was the best player on the pitch that day.
Yeah. So let's take some of your comments then. With that son, the sun can do one, getting all poetic. Exactly, there we go. Apparently there's no motivation at I tell you what, why would Declan Rice want to go to Man United? Just why?
I can't see it, mate. I can't see it. I really can't. Chelsea, yes. Man City, yes. But not Man United. They're miles behind. Declan
Rice is a clever man. He won't want to go to Man United because he knows that. I mean, who would have thought this? Man United is a step back for Declan Rice at this current moment in time, in my opinion. Man United were awful yesterday. They were absolutely awful. Honestly, they might as well just bring Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back, because that was the same football. And I watched Goldbridge's show yesterday and he said it.
They don't even know the manager's going to be in the summer. Is it going to be Poch? Is it going to be Zidane? No one knows. So how could he go there?
And, it might just be Darren Fletcher. They might just put Darren Fletcher in. And they might just keep Ralph Ragnick. Who knows? And, you go there, and I think the levels have desperately dropped at Man United. And, it's a big, Man United. But I think Declan Rice has got more to that than him. Stel, hope you well. It's official. West Ham United have bought a striker. Who's that? Mipo Odubeko, or is this 17-year-old? What's his name? Marshall. Marshall. So, shall we have a look? Stel, are you clickbaiting? I'm going on Twitter. What's going on? Oh, are you baiting us? Stel? I don't know.
It's that young boy.
Yeah.
Did you see? Just quickly, did you see Paul Merson say that West Ham should sell Manuel Lanzini in order to bring in Lingard? Did you see that article?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I mean, I respect Paul Merson, but come on, Lanzini. I think somebody put on Twitter, Lanzini is undroppable at the moment. No wonder selling him to get Lingard. Welcome back, Mipo. Very funny, Stel. Very funny. You got me for a second. I thought, always, is Stel bringing that in, and we've actually signed someone? But no, just no. I like Basuma Brighton, so do I.
Always said him.
Yeah, but to wrap things up, let's do a bit of a roundup then. So, Traoré, yes or no?
Oh, 100% yes. 100% yes.
Stel's not going to like that. Stel despises Traoré.
I love pace and power. You can talk all day about end product, but it's the fear factor, mate, for me. He's so much fear factor.
Yeah. Barbosa, Cabral, one of these strikers, are you in favour of that?
Why not, mate? Just anyone, to be honest with you, just to have some signings to be excited about. Yeah. If I had to pick, probably Barbosa between the two.
Yeah, see, still the OTK knows all this stuff about strikers. Man United maybe poor at the moment, but come on, lads, they ought to step up from us. Let's not be silly. They probably are, but they're not showing it at the moment. I mean, they're not going about it the right way. That's
But
for
let's
sure.
be honest, right? So Declan Rice wants to go and win trophies, Luke. Yeah. Is he going to win a trophy at Man United at the moment? Are they going to win the league? No way for a couple of years. Champions League, not a chance. So is he going to go there just to win the FA Cup, League Cup? Yeah, that's more than what West Ham can win, but he's a player that wants more than that. He wants to win the Champions League and the league.
Yeah.
1,000% worse than Masuaku.
Yeah. And still does not like Masuaku.
Wow.
Didn't Moyes say it wasn't true yesterday about Traoré, did he? I don't know, honestly. No idea. I want Cabral, just one of these out and out strikers, but I don't think we're going to get it. Peter, hope you well. Thank you very much. And to finish off, Mipo and Nang have been recalled. We've signed this other geezer as well for the 17-year-old on his first club. Is that the right call? Bring him back. I mean, Mipo's spell's been unsuccessful. Anang's done okay, 18 appearances for the half of the season.
Yeah, maybe something that I don't know whether you mentioned it because I joined your show a little bit late. Maybe David Moyes is saying, okay, Mipo's coming back because Oki Flex is going to get promoted. Maybe there's something in that as well because I do want to see Oki Flex get a chance. It seems like there's a player in there. It does look like a little bit of a player.
Definitely, yeah. And of course, we've talked about Declan Rice as well and how we think he would definitely not go to Man United because they're not going to win trophies and that's what he wants. And they're probably not going to get Champions League football this year because that's not what they want because there are 4 much better sides than them in the league. And, they will get firing again with the likes of Ronaldo and Fernandes. But I've said it all season. They're a team of individuals. They don't work as a team. They very much work for themselves. And their midfield is easily ran over. I mean, McTominay's awful. They put Matic in there, who's he's still living in the 2014-15 season. And when we play them next month, I just hope we can. Declan Rice and Thomas Souček can win that midfield battle, and then I think we're on for a good one. Especially if, fingers crossed, we might be close to getting Zuma back by them as well.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
3 favourable fixtures in there as well, mate. Norwich, Leeds, and Watford.
Well, exactly. Yeah, we've fans of our club saying, "Oh, West Ham, they've gone off the ball, this and that and the other." We did in December, but Arsenal fans saying this and that and the other, but we were 7 points off them 2 games ago. We're now 1 point off of them, and they've got Spurs next, which then
anyone would go off the ball losing their 4 best defenders. Anyone would go off the ball.
Exactly. And now you'd expect 9 points from our next 3 games. We've got Watford at home, Leeds at home, and Norwich at home. You'd expect 9 points, 7 at the very least. I think
if we have aspirations in Champions League, mate, we have to go and get 9 points. In my opinion, we've got to go and get 9.
Yeah. Stel says you never know with Mipo. It hasn't worked out for him, but a good point gives Oko Flex a chance to step up. It definitely does. Fergie making a comeback. He was there last night. I don't speak.
80 years old now. 80 years old.
I'm no different to the person what I am on the screen. Ask Jay Conrad, but I'm not sure that's good or bad. Horse check is coming. Wow, he's a good player. I wouldn't say no to it, but we're going to leave it there because I've got to go. Thanks to everybody coming in. Yeah, apologies, I couldn't get other people on, but I've got to go and to eat some lunch and then go out. So, Luke, happy going back to work tomorrow?
Not really, mate. Not at all. I like all this time off to do videos and stuff, especially transfer window time. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, and we'll leave there. Thanks everybody for watching the transfer show, and we will be back with more videos very soon. Thanks to everybody in the chat for getting involved, and we'll catch you the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye. Come on, your irons.